My experience as an international student was amazing because I got to just even if some of the students were being dickheads to us, we in Madagascar have all kinds of colors. We are not called Madagascan. People from Madagascar are called Malagasy. About my country is that we don't have those goddamn penguins that we used to have the group of students from a certain country who most of them just were not interacting with dark-skinned people. In the expat community, we all try to stay safe. That's the thing. Don't just think of yourself as another person living in the country and collecting their cash and stuff. Throughout my life as an expat, there's a lot of things that I've realized. There's a lot of things that I've learned. There's a lot of things there's a lot of things that I knew I had to become. There's a lot of things that I knew I had to stop being, and there's a lot of things that I knew I had to work on myself. But if there's one thing that got in my head from the first day I came to China, and that is still in my head until today, is the fact that you become a lot of things when you become an expat, but you also become an ambassador of your country. Meaning that whatever you do, really, and whatever people see you doing, they're not just gonna judge you by that. It's not just you that they judge, but they're gonna judge your entire country. They're gonna judge your entire nation. And I actually had this conversation the other day and with some of my friends, and they said that yeah, it's a very shallow way of seeing things. Like you should not judge a person's entire country just by what they do. Okay, cool. Maybe you should not judge, but that's also just what we do. We always try to learn as much as possible from a certain topic, a certain food, a certain country by someone who seems to be representing that country. And maybe we don't judge, but maybe we also just get some ideas. And the way that this happened with me was when I first came to China, when I first arrived in my international students dormitory, I saw all those people from every part of the world. I saw Korean people, I saw Russian people, I saw people from the Netherlands, I saw people from Kazakhstan, I saw people from America, I saw French people, which was really amazing. Something I'll forever be grateful for, even if some of the students were being dickheads to us, by the way. But the thing is, I was like, as soon as I was interacting with any of those people, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that there was also a lot of students from many countries of Africa, which was just amazing. Ethiopia, we had students from South Africa, we had students from literally everywhere, guys. It was amazing. My experience as an international student was amazing because I got to just, my brain just opened up. I was like, okay, there are all those kinds of people in this world. It is crazy. They got their cultures, they got their foods, they got their traditions, they got their ways of acting, they got their ways of living, they got their ways of thinking. And so it was really great for me to get into the environment of my dorm. And with that said, this is exactly where you learn more about a country, because every time I was interacting with a student, I was like, okay, this person is from this country. So this is literally the first thing that I was thinking. I was like, okay, so maybe everyone from their country is like this. For some reason, okay, maybe I was a kid, maybe I was immature, but that's what I was thinking. And I'm not crazy, okay? I'm not crazy. I also got the same remarks. All right. I used to have people who used to tell me, "Hi, so everybody from Madagascar is like you," and I was like, "What you mean like me? Like you guys are not too black, you guys are not too white. It's like you guys have this kind of chocolate, light skin style Asian." I was like, "Do we?" You know what I'm trying to say? I was like, I never thought of my skin color. I never was aware of my skin color until I came to China, because many people used to make those kinds of remarks. I was like, okay, so many people from Madagascar are like this, right? Um, and so I was like, no. And actually, if you don't know, you watching this or listening to this, we in Madagascar have all kinds of colors. You would have like very light skinned people, bright skinned people, darker skinned people, as well as, I would say, me. We would have me, okay? So the fact of being here, being myself, have gotten many people to learn many things about my country, the same way as while some people were just being there, being themselves and interacting with me, I got to learn many things from them. And with this said, guys, we are not called Madagascar. I'm gonna tell you guys two things that used to piss me off when I was interacting with my new international friends during my first days at the dorm. People from Madagascar are called Malagasy, not Madagascan. If you watch this podcast, if you listen to what I just said, and if you're still gonna call me Madagascar after this, I swear to God, I'll find you and I'll slap your face really hard. Okay. Now, the second thing is there's no penguins in Madagascar. Okay. If there is one thing that people would always ask me whenever I would tell them, hey, oh, Madagascar, I like to move it, move it. I like, shut up. No, no, no. I was like, no, that's not what we have. Madagascar is tropical indeed. The country where I'm from is tropical, but not that tropical, okay? Like, we don't have penguins over there. We don't have giraffes. We got the lemurs. The lemurs are actually a national animal of my country. I'm not sure. I don't know much about my country, guys. This is crazy. Like, I don't know much, okay? Do not ask me. However, if there is something that I know about my country is that we don't have those goddamn penguins that you guys see in those in those animes and that you guys love so much. So this used to annoy me. When I say annoy, I'm like, it's not like it was really actually offending me, but it was just something that was kind of working on my nerves and that I thought was actually funny. And so this leads us to the next thing, which is you never want to be an asshole around people because what you do to someone, and we used to have a lot of situations like this, such as some students get in fights. Yeah, I remember we used to know which students from which country used to do what. Like, oh, okay, and I'm not gonna name those countries because otherwise some people listening to this from these actual countries might get offended. But we used to have certain students from certain country who were the party people. And if you can guess in the comment section, by the way, tell me who you think, which country you think has the most party people. We used to have the students from a certain country who were the geeks, who were the nerds, who were the students. We used to always go to them whenever it was for homeworks. We used to always believe and trust the fact that they would also always save us during exams. We used to have the students who were just pure and plain, I'm gonna say antisocial instead of racist. I'm just gonna say antisocial. We used to have the group of students from a certain country who most of them just were not interacting with dark-skinned people. Hey guys, I truly hope you are finding value or anything relatable to what you are listening to. Either you are from YouTube or from Red Circle. It would really mean the world to me if you could show some support by liking, commenting, or sharing this post right here to two of your friends that you think could find value out of the podcast. Now, back to the talk. We used to have those kinds of things, and so the way in my mind that's life as well as that experience that I had at the dorm taught me a lot of things that I still have and I still took with me until today. And today I do have those opinions about certain people from certain parts of the world. Sometimes I find myself being right about, okay, this person is from this country, so this person is definitely like this. But sometimes some people will actually prove me wrong. Some people will be from a certain country that I used to thought was a certain type of way, but then it would be completely different. All right. And so these are all the stuff that we need to pay attention to. And this actually brings me back to a joke a meme that I saw one day. It was like, it said, hey, any of you who go internationally and who sleep with anybody from another country, you cannot fuck up because you represent the entire nation. And actually at first I laughed about it, but I actually believe it is true, and it applies to many other things, not just the sexual topic, but it applies to all kinds of things, meaning that if you are a violent person, if you are a scammer, then most of the time anybody from the same country as you will also be looked in that same way, and all the people around them will also start to look at them in the same way. And so think of this, guys. Anything that you do has an impact not just on you, not just on your personal growth, not just on your personal benefit, but it has a potential impact on all of the countrymates that you have that live in the same area or in the same city or in the same country as you. Anything that you do, good or bad, the people that are interacting with you are gonna take that information, they're gonna save it, and now next time they see somebody from your country, a countrymate of yours, they're gonna think of the same thing too. They're gonna think, oh, Christian acted like this with me, so I'm pretty sure that this person right here might have the same habits too. And again, this is not really the best way of judging people. You cannot judge another person by the way another person treated you. But for some reason, I feel like in the expat community, we all try to stay safe. That's the thing. And so as soon as we meet somebody new, we always look for all the pieces of information that we can use to quickly kind of like find an opinion as well as a position that we should have about that person. And I really feel like the whole where are you from, what do people from your country do you think, help a lot. And so for that reason, guys, pay attention to whatever that you do. All right. Do not be that person who is going to make your entire country look bad. Be that person who is actually going to go out there and make your entire nation look good. I personally strive for that. I, as a Malagasy person, I really aim to explode as well as grow so much and grow such a big influence that I would be recognized in my own country as one of the one who like really pioneered, you know, and like one of the ones who really represents on an international level and who do it the right way. Like that's one of my purpose with everything that I do here in China. I always try to stay out away from trouble. I never start drama unless drama finds me, because I'm also not anybody's bitches. So if they look for me, they'll find me. But as much as I can, I always try to avoid trouble, and I always try to give back, to add value, as well as to positively impact the people that I interact with, because I know that that experience is going to get them to like me more, which will then offer as well as open more doors to me as well as potentially anybody else from my country. And this actually makes sense because I've had many people, because of just interacting with me, because of knowing me and my character, they got very curious about visiting my country. So I'm actually contributing to developing the touristic sides of Madagascar, which is cool. So again, guys, that's it. If you are an expat, don't just think of yourself as another person living in the country and collecting their cash and stuff. Think of yourself as an ambassador. Think of yourself as someone on whom your country relies to represent them properly. So always make great impression wherever you go. Don't be a dickhead.